Hello, it's Steve again. What I've done here is I've made up a hand-drawn map of what I'm modeling, and I thought by discussing this it would be helpful for people to understand kind of what I'm trying to accomplish on this layout. So this is East Central Pennsylvania basically, and I'm modeling the Redding's Catawissa branch. If you look at this map that I drew, you can see the two rivers that come together, which are the two branches of the Susquehanna River. They come together at the town of Sunbury, Pennsylvania, right here. And the way I've done this map here on this foam core board is I've drawn most of the Catawissa branch that I model in red. You can see it goes basically from the town of West Milton, which is to the left of the picture, pretty much along the north branch of the Susquehanna till it crosses it between Rupert and Catawissa, and then it kind of goes through the mountains until ultimately it comes down here to Tamaqua. So the Reading Railroad, this portion of the line ran basically from Philadelphia, which is to the south of the map, to its most northwestern extent, which is Williamsport, where it came to the town of Newberry. The Catawissa branch, as I said, is the red portion that I did here, which is what I modeled. The rest of the Reading main line, the so-called Shamokin division, which goes through the coal fields, is the black line. And as you can see, they separate at East Mahanoy Junction, which I have on the layout, and they come back together again at West Milton. So I'm modeling this northern division, so to speak, which was at one time called the Catawissa Railroad. Now, West Milton, I've said this before, which is where my father grew up. His grandfather was an engineer in this line, was a kind of an interchange point / helper station for trains going along the Catawissa branch. So as a train leaves West Milton, and you can see this on my layout, if you look at my other videos, we crossed the West Branch to the town of Milton, where there were several industries, which I have put into my model railroad. The line that it crosses here is the Pennsylvania Buffalo line, which I have as a dash. But anyway, the Catawissa branch continues east here, comes to the town of Danville, which I'm doing the scenery on right now, which is located basically on this north branch. Then it kind of follows the mountainside to the town of Rupert right here, which there's an interchange, which I've put onto my layout. It's on the first deck. It's an interchange with the Lackawanna's Northumberland division. So there was a car interchange there. So the way I have my layout designed, I have a double-sided staging yard, of which half of it is West Milton, the other half of it is Tamaqua, so I can run through trains either way. So anyhow, as we head east, Rupert is a interchange point. It then crosses the river, and this is the bridge that I recently just did the scenery on, to the namesake Catawissa, Pennsylvania, right here. And this is the Pennsylvania line, which is dashed here, that goes to Wilkes-Barre. So from the town of Catawissa, it starts into the mountains, which is most of my upper deck. We've got my bridge / fill. We've got some tunnels. We have another fill. We have the town of Ringtown. We have another tunnel at Lofty until we hit Lofty, which is the high point of the line. And then it begins to descend. It comes to the place called Hawks. This is a second interchange with the Central New Jersey's branch that goes east. And it then comes down here to East Mahanoy Junction, goes through the Tamaqua Tunnel to the town of Tamaqua, and from there south to Philadelphia, Reading, etc. So a reader asked me, so what did this branch carry? Well, got information from the Reading Technical and Historical Society. The Catawissa branch was the primary fast freight branch, actually, for freight trains going both north and south to the junction here at Newberry. The reason for that is the grades on it were less steep than they were down here on the coal division called the Shamokin division, and there's a lot of coal trains down here. So, in its heyday, there were 4 fast freights, both northbound, I guess would be eastbound or westbound. There was 4 each way, a total of 8, on a 13-hour schedule, basically from Philadelphia, the docks at Philadelphia, to Newberry. The trains would run on about 12 to 13-hour schedules, and they took the Catawissa branch. So when I design operations into this scheme, I most likely will have at least a train each way that's a fast freight. Fast meaning maybe 30 miles an hour, but basically a freight that had priority over most of the other trains on the branch. So that's operationally number 1. Number 2, I would plan to have coal trains. Now, obviously, Reading was a big anthracite coal hauler, but additionally it hauled bituminous coal from western Pennsylvania that came to it into Newberry, primarily via the New York Central probably. And I assume that, and I've read that they took loaded bituminous coal trains eastbound on the branch to Tamaqua and south, or they may have interchanged them at Rupert with the Lackawanna, or at the central New Jersey at Hawks. And then we could have empty coal trains going north/west back to Newberry. So that's another potential, at least a train each way in an operating session, would be coal trains. I'm not really sure how many anthracite trains would have used the branch, because I think most of the anthracite coal came from this district down here and its many branches, and probably went south to Philadelphia. Next would be local passenger trains. Most of the Reading's named passenger trains, like the King Coal and some others, would probably have operated more in the Shamokin division, but there's no doubt that they would have at one time had local passenger trains to serve these many small towns, and so I could anticipate a local train each way, most likely, leaving West Milton, leaving Tamaqua, and serving the little towns along the way. And then lastly would be local freights, and there's a lot of opportunity here in a couple ways. These freights could either go eastbound or westbound, and they have the opportunity on my layout. If you look at the design of it, which you can see in previous videos, at the Hawks, H-A-U-C-K-S there, we're going to have an interchange with the CNJ, so cars can be dropped off or set off there and picked up. Also, the local freight at Catawissa, I've put in a couple of local sidings for industries that could be switched. And lastly, at Rupert, right here, with the Lackawanna division, Northumberland division, I have several tracks there laid out to do car interchange both ways. As I said, the West Milton, I designed a staging yard with its engine terminal, and it's a double-sided yard along with Tamaqua, which so I would probably presumably have trains going either way from those points. A last consideration would be, theoretically, is I could probably have a switcher type job that would probably leave from West Milton, cross the river into Milton, and switch all those many industries, and then do whatever with the cars that they must, either bring them back, set new ones out, etc., that could be picked up by the freight. So the local freight, there's a lot of switching opportunities in Milton. I have 5 or 6 industries there on the layout that would need to be switched out. So I like watching trains run through the scenery, but operations, something I haven't done a ton of. But hopefully with more experience and more design, I'll be able to come up with a operating plan that would make this branch kind of fun to operate, along with running long trains through the scenery, which is something I've always liked to do, and I kind of designed the layout to that end. Whereas the second deck, which kind of does the middle portion of this branch, is a lot of scenery, tunnels, fills, etc., and just to be able to run trains with a long distance between the towns is kind of nice. So anyhow, that's just a brief update on that. If anybody would like to see more information, feel free to leave messages in the video comments. But I'm probably going to take this map that I just did today, take it up to the house where the layout is, place it on the wall so that people kind of understand what they're dealing with. As far as the Catawissa Railroad, it was chartered, I believe, in the 1860s, one of the earlier ones in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if it was built maybe till about 10 years after that, but it got taken over by the Reading and was operated as a branch of the Reading till the 1970s, at which point a lot of the trackage ended up being torn out after the devastating flood called Hurricane Agnes. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can still hike to and see if you know where to look, the tunnels, the fills, the different things. But the majority of the track, unfortunately, has been torn out. There's a little bit between Milton and West Milton probably still there. Other than that, I think the majority of it's been taken out. So anyhow, thanks for watching the video. I hope this is helpful in when you watch the videos of the layout to kind of understand why I designed it the way I did. Thank you.